Hello, welcome to Coffee with Liv, my show. I'm Liv, and this is my coffee. I've been going live every single day throughout the month of May. Today's May 11th, so today is day 11 of going live. No breaks, no stops. There have been a few times that I wanted to just give up, but I'm sticking to it. Happy Saturday, y'all. The coffee that I'm drinking today is Javi coffee. Again, this is a plain version with some oat milk and just one little baby teaspoon of sugar. And I think this is like finally the perfect combination. Some days I made it too sweet. Yesterday wasn't sweet enough. And this is like perfect. It's not sweet, but it has a little sweetness to it to enhance like the coffee flavor. It's really good. Did you guys see the Northern Lights last night? I saw Aurora Borealis, aka the Northern Lights, last night. It was crazy. So, okay, it wasn't that crazy, but I was online on Twitter last night, and I had seen a few posts throughout the day and like a few days before that there was going to be, what do they call it? I think a geomagnetic storm. I don't never heard that term before. But I also saw people say that there was going to be the Northern Lights. When I hear Northern Lights, I think Iceland, just Europe in general. I don't really think of the US when I think of Northern Lights. So I was like, oh, that's nice. So I'll get to see it. You know, it's something that I've known of for all my life and told myself that maybe eventually, someday, one day, I'll get to see the Northern Lights in person. And so last night I was scrolling, looking at people's pictures of the Northern Lights. A lot of people in the UK. Yeah, I think that's where everybody that I basically saw, they were all in the UK. And then I saw somebody say something about Massachusetts, and I was like, Massachusetts. So I went to their page. Their location had said that they were like based in the UK or something like that. So I'm like, maybe there's a Massachusetts in the UK. I still don't know. Ignored it. Then I started seeing other posts of people in Kentucky, people in Tennessee, I believe, that were posting photos of Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. They were like vibrant pictures, not just a little, you could kind of see it. No, they were like as if they were in Iceland. And so I was like, huh? So you guys know I'm in Georgia. So I was like, where in Kentucky, where in thing? Then I saw people say they were in Dalton, Georgia. I saw people say they were I think in Tybee Island and a few other places. So I'm looking on maps. I'm like, what part, like, where is this city in Georgia? So when I saw Dalton, Georgia, I looked that up, and that's at the north, like kind of northwestern end of Georgia, like close to the border. So I'm like, how can they see it if they're so far inland? I thought maybe it would be only coastal cities. So then I was like, let me see if anybody in Atlanta is seeing it. So I Googled Atlanta, or I searched Atlanta Borealis, whatever. And there were photos. Some people had seen, a little bit of different shades. Some people's were a little bit more muted. So I was like, oh my gosh, let me go outside and just see. Like, I feel like because of light pollution and like being close to the city, a lot of times you don't get to see even stars at night. That's why when you go out in the country, you can see every star in the sky. But when you're closer to the city, you can't see it as much. So I'm like, because I'm close to the city, I probably won't see anything. So I walk outside. It's pitch black outside aside from like, street lights and stuff. So I'm looking up at the sky and I'm like, it looks normal to me. I was very disappointed. And so I turn around, I'm like looking around in the sky and I'm like, wait a minute, over there, it's still dark, but it just looks a tinge lighter than over there. So I'm like, could that be it? I doubt it because it just looks dark. But I saw a tweet where someone said if you take a photo of the sky, it'll appear stronger. So that's exactly what I did right before I started walking back inside. And I was like, wait, the guy said take a picture. So I have my phone, I took it out, put the camera on, and because it was dark outside, it did that like 3-second exposure thing. So I had to hold my phone extremely still. And when I did, I didn't see the vibrant photos that a lot of people got to see, but I did see this. So I know on camera, let me lower the exposure a little, the brightness. I know on camera, on this camera, it doesn't look as impressive, but this was basically like the regular night sky. And down here was a weird purpley glow. And that wasn't like from street lights, that wasn't from light in the distance, anything. So that was what was left of Aurora Borealis. And I was just like in shock that I actually was able to see that. I got like one other, I think this is still the same quality picture. But yeah, so it's more exaggerated on camera, on the camera of my phone. In person, it just looked dark like this outside, and then maybe to like this brightness down here though. So I was like, that's it. So I was taking pictures, zooming in, zooming out. The moon even looked nice, but I couldn't really get a good picture of it because there were some trees blocking. But I was in shock. So I've officially seen the Northern Lights. And I was like, I could check that off on my bucket list. Maybe I don't have to go to Iceland or something like that to go see it. But if anything, that just makes me want to go even more because I want to see the real, like real vibrant photos, or not photos, but the real vibrant lights. I'm gonna show you guys some photos of what some people saw. So basically, this is what some people were able to see in other parts of the world. This wasn't in the US, I don't think at all, this photo. So some people saw things like that, or like this. And it's the same case, I believe, that in photos, it looks more vibrant. In person, it is vibrant. Don't get me wrong. It's just in photos, it shows up a lot stronger just because of, what our eyes can see, what the naked eye can see. Here's a time lapse that someone did. This is like basically what I want to see. When it's moving and stuff, you have to stay there. You wait and watch it for like, I don't know, is it an hour? Is it hours? Is it minutes? I don't know. This is so cool. And it's the strongest solar storm in the last 20 years. So this isn't like an extremely rare occurrence. It's just some are better than others. Lots of people travel to go see the Northern Lights, and you have to time it like perfectly. You can go out there, be expecting to see the Northern Lights and like see nothing, or it'll be very faint. So for this to be the strongest one in 20 years is a huge deal. And I think that's why we could see so much of it in different parts of the US, especially along the East Coast. I don't know if anybody in like central, like the Midwest, I don't think they could see it, but maybe the north, like northern states. And I don't know about the West Coast because I was looking at a map and it was like essentially like a heat mapped kind of thing. And it was over like the well, it was over Canada more so, but the proximity to the US was closer to like Washington State, North Dakota, Montana, all that, opposed to down here in Georgia. Like, look at that. You would think that us down here couldn't really see it. I don't know. So if you're in like on the West Coast or anywhere that's not the not Georgia, let me know if y'all were able to see it. The time that I went out last night, because like I said, I didn't know until the last minute and I just ran outside on a whim. I took my picture at 11:02, or actually, yeah, 10:58. And my last picture was 11:02. But apparently it was its strongest at 10:30 to 10:45. So I just missed like the most vibrant part of it, probably. by like 15 minutes, which really sucks. But I did see someone say today that people are expecting it to happen again tonight. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. I tried to do some research and see if you can see a map, like a forecast for tonight. But these maps are very hard to understand. Like, this is my first time seeing an aurora forecast. So I have to figure out how to read that. I'm going to do some research to see if it's going to be in my area again. If so, I'm going out there. I'm even taking my tripod because, when you take pictures outside in the dark and at night, and it does, iPhone does that 3-second exposure, it's best to have your phone on a tripod. Just taking photos in nature anyways, it's best to put it on some kind of tripod so that you get the sharpest image. So I'm going to keep a lookout on that. If I find out any information, I'll make a post in my community here on YouTube so that you guys can go and see it, because this is a very, very, very rare occurrence for us in the US. Like that, I don't think that this happens often. So that was my excitement for Friday. My Friday night excitement. I didn't go out. I was home, and I was luckily online at the right time when somebody said, "Oh, this city in Georgia can see it." So fingers crossed that we get the same thing tonight. I would assume it'll be around the same time, definitely at night. I saw someone say midnight, but I don't want to trust that because last night it wasn't at midnight. So I'll see. But that wraps up today. Just wanted to have a quick chat about my exciting Aurora Borealis Northern Lights sighting last night. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this quick little live stream. How long were we on today? In 12 minutes. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, probably around the same time. I like this time, like somewhere during the 10 o'clock hour. I think that's a good time, 10 or 11, but I like the 10 o'clock hour. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.